if you're all 32 teams, which team are you picking to play? Maybe the Titans, but like the Raiders got to be a top 3 to 5 choice of you get your first start and you get the full game. I would love to play the Raiders right now, right?
Harvey at one point was like 7 carries, 2 yards.
Yeah.
It was rough, dude. Put Adam Prentice in. Lead back, baby. Yeah, he made the goat.
So we're saying Shedeur has the Brady trajectory is what we're comparing right there.
That's not what I'm saying.
I kind of liked the Chargers in this one.
You're crazy.
Yeah,
you're insane. There's gonna be a new Mendoza line next year in Cleveland because Mendoza is going to be the draft pick. I really want to see that happen because we need to have something there.
Just coming off a Super Bowl win, they've been first seed all year, and he sounds like the most miserable man on the planet.
Dude.
What is going on? Like, typical receivers, right? Like,
it goes against the adage
so
that everything's
bad
fine as long as you're winning, right?
Right, like it's the only, I've never seen more of a sore winner in my life.
Not only did they take McCarthy first round, they took Dallas Turner and sold a lot of picks for that.
Yeah.
They're kind of committed, man.
And
unseasonably warm here in the high plains of Buford.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's unseasonably, yeah.
Well, what are we blasting off with? We're blasting off with criticizing athletes outside of the performance of the game. What I've noticed so much is that how much of sports talk at all, and maybe we're guilty of this to some degree, but as a product of the culture, but why are we criticizing every single thing about these people's lives, and especially at a time when we're dealing with like mental health debates about how much under a microscope they are? And where we're going with this is the other blast off from a month ago about how we're a little bit antagonized about sports betting, but then you brought up the amazing point that you love the WWE. Why don't we just fully embrace it? And who better than the guy who I was slinging as Rookie of the Year, and he was actually holding up a little bit. He was going to be a contender of that until we had the terrible injury, the open fracture. And some people out there are using their platform to act like they know that this is a dangerous escapade about him getting shoved.
Dude, it's not like he's wrestling McFoley and they're doing some barbed wire act. It's like it's not a big deal. This is scripted. This is scripted.
Oh, he's hurt.
You know what this reminds me of? It's kind of like, you know, when Jamie Tart goes off to Love Island or whatever that sitcom is. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
This isn't Ted Lasso, right?
What a pull there.
But this is like this isn't in lieu of the season. It's not like he's healthy. He's hurt.
Right.
And
he's on the IR. He's not going to be used. Right. And so then, how many people?
Who cares?
And I don't want to engage with it because it's rage bait. And my whole thing is I'm going to click the not interested, and I am being rage baited. But it's okay because I'm not going to use their names to elevate their platform anymore. It has shown to be the secret to success. Right. If we want 10 million views, let's just say, Cam Scannaboo, you should not have been having fun. Don't have fun with your life. No. Like, the one thing that you enjoy the most is taken away from you on a freak play. Yeah, we need
the fun police needs to come back.
We need it.
I will say though, Paul. All right, to counter to your argument, you were saying, you made a very general statement saying something to the effect of,
pretty blatant.
Why do we care about what they do outside of football? Well, we do, because if they're doing illegal activities, we probably care.
Which brings me to the point when the Buccaneers were in the Super Bowl, right? Yeah. And Tiki maybe it was the other way. It could have been the other way. Tiki never made a Super Bowl, right?
In absence of Mike, this is where we need Mike.
The 2000, this is the 2001 Bucks, right?
Yeah.
They're in the Super Bowl, and Tiki doing one of the great. The Twins have it great because they just have a comedy angle for all types of things. I saw one where where a twin proposed to a fiance without the actual boyfriend knowing. And so anyway, the night before the Super Bowl, Tiki's out just ripping shots, and everyone's like, bet the other team, bet the Raiders, and it's acting to that. It's like, okay, there is a line, right? It's like, we don't go have your curfew at 10. You even know that from college sports, right? Like you want your quarterback calling everybody and making sure they're okay, all on the same page.
I don't think
there's a routine to it. You never got the call.
You know.
Wow. Well, maybe he was trying to
why I
give you
got
the
moved
hey.
to
He's like,
safety,
he didn't
man.
give you the.
You're like, you can't. got moved
He's
to
like,
call
sorry,
this
we
to
didn't want to
safety."
tell you this way that you weren't getting the ball. It wasn't in the game plan. I was gonna pump fake to you every time, but we're going the other way.
Yeah, put me. You know what? I
Right.
should have just been the fullback.
But at some point the scrutiny is just like, right, like, and I think this is well past the line, and I just think we could maybe come a little bit more to the other side. Like they are humans too outside of, right? Like
No, there's absolutely.
anyway, so
no,
it's
I
just
hear you.
kind of annoying.
Paul, all the way. All right. So just summarizing that, basically,
Uh-huh.
look. Do we care if you're on WWE? No,
No,
and in
and it
fact,
was awesome.
we're probably in support of it.
That was awesome. That was a
Also,
great clip.
in this situation, let's say, I don't know, Patrick Mahomes gets injured and then gets put in the real world.
Right.
I'd watch it.
Yeah,
I'd probably watch it. I'd
yeah,
be
that's-
okay with it
that-
too.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know what? They're just giving Cam a hard time because, you know what? He wasn't, like, blasting against, like, his head against the wall or something like
Oh,
that.
right, yeah.
I mean, for God's sake,
Just
give
may
the
as
guy
well
a
milk
break.
him for all the money that you can, right?
Give the guy a
Yeah.
break, you know? All right, so we're here. Mike's not here. Mike's a very important person. He'll be here later this week. But as we fill the void in the absence of Morris, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a few things. Last week could have been some of the worst quarterback performances. The worst quarterback performances.
With the exception of
Okay, yeah. No, but I'm talking about across the board.
It
There
was.
was exceptionally abhorrent debuts and just performances. We're going to start with, Sam Darnold, who has been exceptional all year. And you got to give a guy,
Yeah, 4 picks.
everybody has one of those games. Unfortunately, Darnold last week's 29 of 44, 279 yards. He went 0 for 4 with a rating of 46. Not great, but guess what? I still think they're a top 5 team. Frankly, they're top 3. I think they're better than Denver. And I would even say, arguably, they're better than New England. A lot of people are high on New England right
Yeah, I
now.
think that's a
I
fair.
still don't think New England has played the caliber of teams that, like, Seattle has. So Seattle's either my 2 or 3. Depends on where you put the Bills.
Yeah,
Because
that-
number 1 is the Rams, in my opinion. And then you could go Bills.
that division's very battle tested too, and 4 picks is quite a lot. I always feel like at 3 you should almost never throw the 4th because it's just, but I don't mind it. So
At 3, it's kind of like, dude, you got to go high speed. It's kind of like, all right, if you're 0-3 behind it in the pitch count or whatever,
Right.
You're throwing a slug ball right over the middle.
Absolutely,
you know?
right. So it just didn't make sense. But I did like the defense coming to his side. That was great, and like whether that was PR or just authentic from him, I love that. That shows me it's a good
Dude, it's
locker
fine.
room right there. That
This is-
actually it was kind of a good sign. So
As long as he doesn't come out of that
not-
in the press conference say he's seeing ghosts again. Or
not to hijack every single segment you have
Yeah.
into Josh Allen,
Yeah.
who is the only counter argument that
Super
you
fan.
have to this.
Also
But
super fan.
yeah. So since it's Josh Allen week, we're going to. There was a game against Nebraska
God.
where he threw 3 picks. Wyoming actually had the lead for a period of time, and that sold-out stadium for 40 straight years was you could hear a pin drop in that one. But towards the end, Nebraska had like a 10-point lead, right? And so then some of the picks, all interceptions, the point of this is, are not created equally. He threw some when it was like dire times. It was like, okay, he either has to make the play or an incompletion is just as bad as a pick in these. So sometimes in stats, I think you should maybe even dive a little deeper. And we brought this up before with like the pick interception. Like, is that the same?
No, some of
and
these
then
guys-
like
there should
also
always be, like I
from the
talked
flip
about
side,
that.
the defender like should catch it or should bat it down and would have the pick, which could help for his Pro Bowl stats if we're all caring about all that. You know what I mean?
We're talking about the Hail Mary picks
right,
now?
Yeah. So then when you bat it down, it's like that should count towards your, it would be a pick, but you're so good of a player that
Yeah.
like you bat it down. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and so then
God,
okay,
get
but
out of
then
We're getting way too advanced.
Oh,
Next-gen stats,
the advanced.
we're going that
We're going advanced metrics on this.
Yeah.
But Darnold definitely his worst game of the year. But
And
I'm
it's
not
fine.
too worried
Dude,
about it.
It's fine. Honestly,
And
if you had to go
honestly-
through the rankings right now, I still think Rams are number 1. And then you have the Eagles and Bills at 2, 3.
Yeah.
And then after that, you can fit the Seattles, the New Englands, and Denvers of the world. But people that are going outrageous saying like Denver's at 3 right now, it's just wild. But
And it's totally spin police, but maybe it's good that he had that now. Like it's better to have that in November and get that out of the way and be like, okay,
If
well,
it's out of the way,
I can be bad. Like here it is, guys. But like, do you guys still have my back? It could work in their
that was
favor.
very Jets-esque, very Carolina-esque.
Right,
you know,
yeah.
there's like the old Darnold coming back. But the other ones we got to talk about. Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking Seattle. Now we're moving to the former Seattle with Pete Carroll, who looks like Joe Biden over at, down in Las Vegas. You got Geno Smith, 27 of 42. He was 238 in yards, 1 of 1, and then 77. I mean, he's just been lackluster at best all year. It's been like abhorrent.
And so we were talking how one winning culture's locker room handled it.
Yeah.
We were talking the exact opposite over there. He was like, yeah, if your kids get bad grades, they don't turn in their homework, blame it on me. If like Geno's quotes, I don't know, he like went way too far into the, it was like, are you okay? I think he needs like, but he needs somebody else to maybe like stand up for him.
Who's
granted,
he
he is the leader.
Brock
And he's
Bowers,
taking it, but I know. The Bowers resurgence, like you called, a couple weeks ago, did look good against the Broncos. He almost solo won the game. But beyond that, and Ginty's like not getting the rock anymore. I don't know what's going on.
It's a rough team, man.
Maybe Carroll shouldn't have come back. Is that too?
No, I
mean,
dude, he's the oldest coach in the league, and I honestly think there's a point in time where you are well past your prime, kind of like a fighter, man. Like, you're well past, like, maybe the creativity that's needed. And I would say, hey, Pete, you've had a really good run. It's, you also did a lot of bullshit over in USC that you never really, like, now you're kind of paying for it now, maybe. Maybe this is the retribution coming back. But anyways, McCarthy is another one that had just another abhorrent week. You're getting a lot of cope out of Vikings fans that are true believers in McCarthy, and then you're seeing a lot of people just throwing dirt on this guy. He's still like, this is maybe
youngest player in the league, right? Youngest starter in the league.
Game. Yeah. And like it reminds me of how Darnold was handled over in the Jets, but they're committing to him. It's not the same situation, but McCarthy's stats: 16 of 32, 150 yards. He was an all-gamer. He was 1 of 2. Touchdown to pass or touchdown to interception ratio. His rating was 47.7 last week. Now, another quarterback that had a 47 or a mid-40s rating was actually Lamar Jackson. He did not look good. That was also against a stellar Cleveland Browns team.
Great.
Who should have won that game? What do you do if you're the Cleveland Browns defense? You're just like, bro, what do we have to do for you guys?
It just shows how much their offense is in disarray, and I'm sure you're going to get to that.
Yeah, we're going to get to that last. But staying on McCarthy.
Right.
McCarthy looks lost, man. And they need a lot of work. I think that if you're the Vikings, you got to commit a whole nother year to this guy.
Probably.
You went high on this. You don't have a lot of picks. If you remember in that draft, not only did they take McCarthy first round, they took Dallas Turner and sold a lot of picks for that. They're kind of committed, man.
And do we give him a harsher grade because they have JJ, and you could definitely convince me that's the most talented receiver in the league. So it's like you have a target.
Also, if you're
so
JJ,
then that kind of is exactly. He's got to be a little bit. His gears got to be spinning a little bit for sure.
But if you're the GM or you're any fan, you got to be looking over at what Seattle's doing and look at what the Colts are doing. Those are two quarterbacks were in your quarterback room last year.
Oh yeah, that definitely doesn't. Yeah.
What are we doing?
I don't know. Yes, right. And so all of that definitely isn't good for you. I think trying to focus on football is as was illustrated earlier. It needs to be the key. Otherwise, you can get on social media too much. I don't know. If I was a coach, could you just go full authoritarian and just be like social media, don't look into it? Because it would help you help yourself. I would love it as a player.
How do you enforce that?
Oh, I know.
You can have that rule, but how do you enforce that? You sitting them? You sitting them?
Completely
not starting?
It's I'm on my what is it? The incognito mode just to check my Instagram. It's what do you want? What website are you on? Oh, just Facebook and just.
It's fine.
But I would love it as a player because
you have to sign
help me help for myself.
If you go incognito mode,
you know truly deep down you don't want to read into it, and it just feels like maybe they're kind of. Some of these. You can just feel the aura around them, and it's not great,
It's not good.
No.
Last one, maybe the worst debut of all time, and all right, let's put this out of the way. A little unfair because this guy had to come midway through the game. A little unfair, yeah, and probably hasn't had the first team reps, but what happened with Drew Bledsoe when he went down, and then the next great GOAT, maybe the GOAT.
So we're saying Shedeur has the Brady trajectory is what we're comparing right
That's
there.
not what I'm saying. I'm saying you got to make the most of your opportunities.
You're right.
Just because you weren't the starter doesn't mean that you
right.
got a full
And the
pass.
demeanor there is I'm pumped to be here. It just kind of feels like he was entitled to it, right?
I think
all season. How did you feel entitled to it? You were third string. Did not
obviously not?
To me, that would have been the signal of I need to build something. It feels like he he's expected, like, right? He's like, oh, I'm Shedeur. I should be getting this time, and then kind of performed like that, right? Like,
He definitely performed like that. But what I will say about this, Paul, before we get into it, let's go through the stats.
Yeah.
4 of 16, 25% completion rate. That's horrible. Sub 50, 47 yards on 16 attempts, 0 and 1. And by the way, there should have been
quite a lot.
There should have been 2 other picks in that game. The rating, I've never seen one this low for someone that plays for half a game even. 13.5.
13? It wasn't even to 20.
13.5. Maybe one of the worst efficiency games out of any quarterback of all time. We have a flyover. We're in flyover country.
You know, because he has the best option that he could have asked for. 0 expectations. Everyone saw that he didn't get first team reps. He was running for his life, nobody helping him. And now, if you're all 32 teams, which team are you picking to play? Maybe the Titans, but like the Raiders got to be a top 3 to 5 choice of you get your first start and you get the full game. I would love to play the Raiders right now, right? Like that is an obvious chance to get a win.
We have
to,
yeah,
just
I know.
Get a win.
It is.
Right? Like that's, and so like,
we gotta talk about.
And you gotta be better than a 13 passer rating next week. I mean, it can't get worse.
He's
so
already,
like, it's kind of a pretty good situation if you have the right mentality about it. If you're feeling sorry for yourself and like I should have been the starter the whole time, then forget with you. We'll see. I'm actually really excited for that trash 2 p.m. game.
Dude, so what we're gonna talk about real quick though is something we talked off camera. This could be the debut for his future team, or I should say, the trial run for it.
Yeah, watch the trade come in like right at like the.
Well,
just
we're past
rumors
trade,
spin,
but it would
right?
be postseason trade right before the.
You're right. You're right.
And it may be a move where if they are winning a game or two, because the defense is just too good, that they have to trade up or something like that.
Yeah,
but
he could definitely get carried by the D.
What I would say about this, just in closing with the quarterbacks and everything, we're going to talk about just the Browns for a second. What a terrible, terrible situation to be a fan. I'm a fan of the Cleveland Browns. You got to look at that defense. And you're seeing Myles Garrett's season where he is on track right now to beat. He's probably going to beat the sack record in a single season. Like, dude, he's had like
6 straight
10 sacks in the last 3 games, man. Like, it's insane. Like, this is a performance that has never been seen before.
Can we put him on offense? Put him on offense too. Like, he might actually. I mean, he might have gas in the tank. Yeah.
Can you imagine if he's
we
like
were
lead
talking
blocking
clone a
for
player? Myles Garrett's gonna be one of the.
Oh, dude,
I feel.
awful.
Yeah.
But it's just like a missed opportunity, and like all he had to do was basically be like a warm body. Like he comes in. And just don't turn the ball over. Be smart with it. I mean, like quite literally, there's gonna be a new Mendoza line next year in Cleveland because Mendoza is gonna be the draft pick. I really want to see that happen because we need to have something there. We got to. But in transition, Paul, we're gonna make it to a really fun segment before we're completely out of light and the Northern Lights come in and everything else here. But
this guy's nice and light blue right now.
The playoffs were to happen today. Okay, we're gonna put up a little, metric up here. But basically, if the playoffs were to happen today, we're gonna go through, and Birdman's gonna give you his picks. We'll go between the two and go for our picks of if the playoffs were happening today, who's gonna win the Super Bowl and how is it gonna progress. In the wild card round on the AFC side, you would have Buffalo at the 5th spot playing Pitt in Pittsburgh. Who you got in that matchup?
See, I like Buffalo. They have been faltering against trash teams somehow, like Atlanta and Miami, but so I guess they just can't get it up for the teams that are
Dude, watch out for Warren and Gainwell running 200 yards all over Buffalo's
it could. Oh, right. It'll definitely be a barn burner of a game. Their defense can't stop anyone, but I do like them getting out of the first round.
All right, so Buffalo wins that game. That means that they would be taking on Denver in the second round. That's the divisional round. We'll get to that in a second. The next one, it would be the Chargers taking on Indianapolis. The Colts are in the 3 seed. That would be played in Indianapolis. Who you got in that one?
See, this is kind of unfair to say that Indy peaked too early. They're playing too great early, and then the Chargers have had and they did the same kind of with the 3-0 start. But I kind of like the Chargers in this one.
You're crazy.
Oh yeah,
you're insane.
You're calling Indy
dude,
for in a landslide.
Right. Even with just Joe Wall, they have plenty of injuries, but with just Joe Wall out, they're not the same team. They have no running game. Vidal is there, and then what do you have?
And maybe I'm going against my boy JT for MVP, but
you're insane.
I'm way wrong there. Yeah, sorry, my worst take.
That's the Birdman blasted off with a terrible take there. All right. Next one, we're going to go. All right, I will take Indianapolis. You'll take the Chargers in that one. But Jacksonville, the 7th seed, sneaks in under the current standings. They have to travel to New England, played in Foxborough at the 2 seed there. Who comes out of New England?
All right, maybe this is with the heart. Maybe we're continuing on the hate.
Don't even do it.
But the Jaguars have looked great lately.
Stop
and
it.
I'm really not a
Stop
believer
it.
in New England. I think they're on a great
is
streak right now, but I think they're gonna come to light in the playoffs.
Okay, you're crazy.
Yep.
You're crazy. New England wins that one for sure. We're going to go to the divisional round now, staying over in the AFC. That means Paul would say that Jacksonville's taking on the Chargers. I'm going to take the exact flip of that, where I'm saying New England's taking on Indy. I have Indy winning that game. Paul, who do you have winning on your side?
Absolutely nothing has made sense this year at all. No. So we're taking Saxonville, and we're going with the Jags.
This
it's going to be the one weird rule. Yeah.
All right. Over in Denver, you have Buffalo, because we both picked Buffalo on this one, taking on in a rematch of the wild card. Who's the wild card?
See, this is quite interesting because you have just maybe number 1 defense, maybe top 3 offense, right? So then which breaks? I'm thinking that the Bills actually get a similar bout as they do last year. I think it'll be a bit closer because Denver's defense is even better.
Yeah.
But I do like Buffalo in this one. I do think it's their year.
Even though they get the first round bye, I still think
17, football. Dude. Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. But Josh Allen coasts across this one. I think it's like a 31-17 type of game where I am really worried about Denver's running game right now. It looked abysmal last week. At one point there was
with Dobbins.
Dude, with Dobbins out, he was like everything. Harvey at one point was like 7 carries, 2 yards. Yeah. It was rough, dude. Put Adam Prentice in. Lead back, baby.
Yeah, you've been saying
Put him in the tailback. Let's go. So that leaves the AFC Championship game. You would have the Bills taking on Jacksonville. I have the Bills taking on the Colts. Who wins that one?
Right, it's the people's choice for the AFC Championship. Basically no losers there, but yeah, I think it's the Bills' year this year. I've been saying it's probably since COVID, but this seems like the most wide open it's been, especially if their kryptonite misses the Super Bowl, misses the playoffs, as it is right now. Dude. One little detail that we didn't mention in the matchups. And if the Ravens are out as well, if they don't do it this year, I just don't feel like they ever would, so I'm going with Buffalo.
All right, so I'm actually going to take the opposite. I'm going to say the Colts beat Buffalo if that matchup happens in the AFC Championship. Dude, in that game, it might be
maybe
a
I was wrong
game.
Earlier, and the Colts didn't leave early, but I don't know about
Dude,
the AFC Championship.
Yes, if the Colts make it to the AFC Championship and they're up against the Bills, JT's going to have a 300-yard game. It's gonna set an unbelievable.
I'm not arguing that aspect, but it'll just take the mountain man Josh Allen.
Quinn Nelson might kill.
He might have to have 7 or 8 touchdowns just to match it.
That's
fair. A great match.
It would be a shootout.
Oh, it sounds like a fun
one
to watch.
You think that you're going to? It would be so bad on the running side. You might see a late game, 30 seconds. They're just handing the ball off to JT instead of actually passing the ball. That's how bad it could get. But on the other side, we're going to the NFC.
All right.
NFC first round. Seattle right now in the standings would be a 5 seed. They would be taking on Tampa Bay 4 in Tampa. Who do you got in that match?
That is a terrible 5-seed matchup for Tampa. I think Tampa's going to skirt, and continue to have the home playoff game, but pretty high chance that Tampa loses their first round at home.
Yeah, they just haven't looked as good. Mike Evans not playing well. I think Mike Evans is hurt, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
But then Ibuka's working on some injuries too. They just haven't been firing on all cylinders, and you got some question marks a little bit on that defense too. So that means that we both are taking Seattle. They'd be taking on Philly in the next round under the current standings. We'll go down to a Green Bay, who currently would be a 6 seed, taking on Chicago, who wins the division under current standings.
It's gone crazy in the NFC.
At Soldier Field.
I think the AFC is a little surprising with who's missed the playoffs, but the NFC is a little bit weird with the seeding. How is Chicago hosting a playoff game in 2025? I like Green Bay in this matchup, but I do see it being played in Lambeau eventually, but
this one's played at Soldier Field.
Oh, I don't know.
You gotta paint your name. Hey, Bo Nix, you want
at least those fans get to be there. Oh yeah.
If Bo Nix wants to learn how to throw a ball, he's got to paint his nails like Kill. You know what I'm saying? All right, so moving on. Next one, it's San Francisco, a 7 seed under current standings, would be traveling to LA to take on their division rival, the Rams. Who comes out of that one?
See, this is kind of crazy because the 5 through 7 seeds are super strong in the NFC with the current standings. But I do like LA in this one as the one home team to win. But that matchup sounds awesome for a first rounder. Holy cow.
So I got LA winning that one for sure. We're staying in that same division, the divisional round. So you had Green Bay winning that. I have Chicago winning that one at home.
Oh, wow.
No,
you just
for sure.
won it, I think, on that one. But,
dude.
it's okay.
So that would be the
We'll
Rams
allow it.
taking on Chicago. You have the Rams taking on Green Bay. I'm going to say the Rams win that one as well. They're into the NFC Championship game.
Oh, it's
Who
the
do you have?
scapegoats. You were going to pick the Rams either
Rams
way.
versus-
So it won't
Rams
matter
versus
so
Green
much
Bay,
for your...
dude.
Yeah, I do like the Rams. Yeah.
Okay. Up Seattle versus Philly at home. You have birds on birds. The Birdman picking in this bird matchup.
Yeah, so they are calling the false start on the push the pile, but I do think I'm glad that we're not leaning towards the sentiment of banning it. I think Philly is going to show that they're still the best offensive line, and Hurts is still gonna. The strategy. I like Philly in this one, although I'm a little bit weirded out that like AJ Brown, they're just coming off a Super Bowl win. They've been first seed all year, and he sounds like the most miserable man on the planet.
Dude.
What is going on? Like, typical receivers, right? Like,
It goes against the adage
it's so
that everything's
bad
fine as
against-
long as you're winning, right?
Right, like it's the only I've never seen more of a sore winner in my life.
My take on this, Paul, is that Philly goes ahead and makes it back to the NFC Championship. That sets up a bird matchup. We're both taking
The birds.
Which bird? We're taking the Philadelphia Birds, who would be at home in Philadelphia taking on the Rams. Who do you got in this matchup?
See, this is going to be my surprise pick, kind of akin to the Jacksonville on the other side.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that there's going to be an unprecedented number of false starts called, and Seattle's going to
All
find
the
a
false
way,
starts.
and everyone's just going to be like, "Wow, push the pile works if your offensive line doesn't jump off."
Something.
I like Seattle actually in this one in a surprise matchup that will I think open the road to our Super Bowl matchup, where I think I'm picking JA and the Bills.
You're calling the Bills?
I'm picking
man.
over Seattle. That's
All right, well, sticking in the NFC matchup, I'm also taking the Rams to beat. It's Sean McVay's first win over Sirianni and the Eagles. They're 0-5 on that record so far. It's going to go against the stats. I also like the Rams going to the Super Bowl. And then I'm going to take the Rams winning again. You're going to have a very much Jim Kelly-esque Bills who, if they make it like you're calling... But I still like the Rams beating JT and the Colts. I think it's too early. The momentum's there, but it's too early. And I like the veteran leadership out of Stafford. But man, for Danny Dimes to go from where he was at the Giants to all the way to the Super Bowl from what I'm predicting, man, that's a hell of a
And I don't always enjoy legacy conversations, but maybe some more well-earned, that should have already been well-earned respect to Stafford on the Super Bowl run.
Should.
For someone who's had that long of a career, you know, was sophomore in college when we saw him play back in the day at Georgia. You know, and no Sean Moreno, AJ Green, how long have they been out of the league, right? And still, but I mean, that is positional dependent, obviously. But maybe he's more praise has been needed for Stafford.
Dude, Stafford, he deserved praise.
He's throwing virtually no interceptions. I think how many does he have? 3 all season? Yeah, that's
insane.
If you don't turn over the ball,
it's MVP worthy, especially
absolutely, yeah. Maybe we have been saying it's down on quarterback play, so we don't want to hand it to him just because the rest of the field's trash.
You want to crown him? Crown him.
All
right, and as the sun is setting here in Buford, the sun is setting on this segment. We'll be back on Saturday after Mike rejoins us in Friday's film session. We'll see you this weekend.
We'll show you how to break a table the proper way.
Oh, God.